Your city, your news. From the campus of the University of Nebraska at Omaha, this is the Omaha News.
Today is Wednesday, April 16th, 2008, and you're watching the Omaha News.
This week, the two Democratic congressional candidates met at UNO. We'll show you what Jim Esch and Richard Carter had to say. Good afternoon, I'm Tina Padilla.
And I'm Lindsay Carsey. About 100 people attended the Democratic debate between Jim Esch and Richard Carter last night. Nick Peterson explores what issues are at hand in the election for Nebraska's 2nd District congressional seat.
Figuring out what Nebraskans are concerned about is not difficult. Issues like the Iraq War, the economy, are at the forefront for election for U.S. Congress. Volunteers responded with what issues are most important to them.
Top issues for me are definitely education. You know, I'm a student. I'm going to be having a six-figure student loan debt coming up pretty soon, and with the economy looking the way it is, it's going to be really hard to pay that back.
The war, economics, education, being a college student myself, that's very important.
Carter and Esch also spoke of their stances on education.
Well, I'm an educator, and I fully understand the benefits of an education. Education not only benefits the individual, but it benefits society at large by having a more productive workforce.
Make higher education more affordable, especially since as our economy becomes less and less dependent on older forms of technology.
Jim Esch, who is running again after his almost win in 2006 with 45% of the vote, has stated that he remains very confident in this year's election. Esch is pro-life and against capital punishment and wants to withdraw troops from Iraq. Richard Carter, on the other hand, is a veteran of the war in Iraq and also wants to withdraw troops from Iraq and wants to rid the country of our addiction to foreign oil. Regarding health care, he believes everyone should have it. Carter also believes the economy is spiraling in recession because of our presence in Iraq. On May 13th, the Nebraska voters will decide which one of these candidates will represent the Democrats for Congress. Whether it's Esch or Carter that wins, one of them will be facing Lee Terry. And if Terry would win, it would be his 6th term for Congress. For the Omaha News, I'm Nick Peterson.
So far on the Republican side, Lee Terry is running unopposed. Elections for the House, Senate, and the presidency will be held on November 4th of this year.
More than 9,000 people sang happy birthday to Pope Benedict XVI this morning on the south lawn of the White House. It was the first papal visit to the White House in almost 30 years, and only the 2nd visit in White House history. President Bush welcomed the Pope by speaking about a culture of justice and truth. The Pope visited for only 90 minutes, but was greeted enthusiastically by the crowd and President Bush.
Another top official was making rounds across the country. The acting Surgeon General made a stop at UNO to speak about the consequences of alcohol abuse.
Tobacco. But the culture has to change. We have to shift the culture to disapproval, and we can do this. We can get more information.
The crowd was able to ask questions, many of them focused on the drinking age. The Harvard College Alcohol Study says that colleges and universities in the upper Midwest tend to have higher drinking rates than other parts of the country.
Not only did the Surgeon General talk about alcohol, but Patty Spady, the founder of the Sam Spady Foundation, was on campus to raise awareness for students to practice responsible drinking behaviors. Marjorie Sturgeon brings us Patty Spady's story.
A little bit about who Sam was. Sam was born and raised in Beatrice, Nebraska. She was a very easy child to raise and began drawing as soon as she could hold a color or a pencil in her hand.
Sam was found dead in a fraternity house in September 2004. She had been at a party and drinking. The cause of her death was acute alcohol poisoning.
It is our hope that by sharing Sam's story, you will know and understand the danger and potential deadly consequences of alcohol poisoning.
As Patty Spady shares her daughter's story, a UNO student reminds us that everyone has a story.
I think a lot of people can relate to it. And, you know, if it hasn't happened to you personally, it's happened to somebody you know. Everybody has a friend who's in college who they know drinks too much.
Allison Schneiderwind organized the day's awareness programs for students to drink responsibly. She has her own story.
You know, I had problems with alcohol abuse, but it was never a dependency situation. The dependency for me was more with marijuana.
The message Allison wants to spread is there's still a good time without getting drunk.
Once you start looking for activities to do without drinking, you run into so many fun things that you can do. Like I've started going, all types of things, ice skating, going to batting cages, stuff that you wouldn't even think of, and I just really enjoy doing it because that's life, and I feel like I've got my life back, really.
For the Omaha News, I'm Marjorie Sturgeon.
Allison also wants people to know that the university offers free drug and alcohol counseling and treatment. This is available through Student Health Services, located in Milo Bale by the TV Lounge. More information about the program is available by calling 554-2409.
There hasn't been a tornado warning yet this year, but we can count on having one eventually. When severe weather hits, it's always good to have a plan in place. It's been 33 years since the UNO campus has even come close to a tornado.
We had the Tornado 75 get real close to campus here.
But that doesn't mean they aren't prepared. Last week was Severe Weather Awareness Week. The city tested their alert systems, and UNO tested theirs.
I have your attention, please. This is a test of the UNO alert system. This is only a test. Please disregard.
But when it's not a test, where should students go?
If you're living over in University Village, okay, then we try to get those students over into the Fine Arts Building or the library or the Hyper Building. They basically have to leave those facilities because they're made out of wood, so they're really not as stable as a brick building. So they actually have to leave their actual rooms and go into one of our regular buildings up on campus.
Any of the large brick buildings around campus will be safe during severe weather. Just head to the lowest level and stay in the inner corridors. So when the sirens sound, do UNO students know where to take cover?
Arts and Sciences.
I'd probably go over to Roskins Hall.
I would probably head straight into the Arts and Science building.
Now this spring, when you're on campus and hear the sirens, you'll know just where to go. If you're on your way to school and there's no shelter available, the best course of action is to lie flat in a ditch and cover your head with your hands.
Thousands marked the one-year anniversary of the Virginia Tech shootings. 32 people were killed before the gunman killed himself. The ceremony was marked by a candlelight vigil. This campus shooting, along with the Columbine shooting in 1999 and the more recent shooting at Northern Illinois University, has sparked movement on campuses across the nation to revise their security measures. UNO has started text messaging students with alerts.
A middle school in Waterloo, Nebraska was evacuated today after a bomb threat was found scrawled on a bathroom wall. The message was found at 11 a.m. in the bathroom at Douglas County West Middle School. Superintendent George Conrad felt that it was probably a prank, but decided to use the threat as an opportunity to practice an evacuation drill. The school's 200 students were moved to an off-site facility and returned to the school around 1:40 p.m. Parents were notified by an automated phone alert.
Coming up, we'll show you a cultural event that participants say isn't going away and happens every year on campus.
And later, we have a warning for dog owners when it comes to finding the best treats. You're watching the Omaha News.
UNO Television.
Students work with professionals who have all kinds of experience in the industry.
Lights, camera, action. Literally.
Get paid while you learn more about the TV business.
Work on all kinds of productions.
My friends who worked on TV crew last semester are now working part-time at local stations.
Working on TV crew is a great experience.
UNO Television. Student crew, professional staff, award-winning results.
Most local television news only gives you brief headlines about issues that may be important to you. But for more than 10 years, only one program has remained dedicated to examining all the information about issues that really matter to Nebraskans. I'm Kathy Wyatt, and it's my privilege to present those issues for your consideration. Join me on the campus of UNO in a program we call Consider This, every week on the Knowledge Network.
Dancing and drums filled the Sapp Fieldhouse on Saturday. The Native American Society at UNO, in collaboration with the Inter-Tribal Student Council, had a powwow. Mariama Samate examines how this event brings more culture to the community.
Powwow is an annual Native Indian celebration to recognize the different tribes within the community.
is that we're honoring our children at this powwow. It's the Honor of the Youth powwow. We also want them to know that we're still here. There's a lot of misconception about Native Americans are gone, vanishing Americans in the museums, but we're alive and well. We're professors. We teach here, just like everybody else. So we want people to know that we're here. And this is a way for us to celebrate our existence.
Scramble for sweets.
No pushing, no pushing.
Compete in the tribal potato dance.
You got 'em. If it falls down on your chest or your doesn't laugh, you're out.
All of the dancers represent their tribe and the different dances they do, and we have anywhere from the tiny tots all the way up to the elders.
This year's powwow celebrations have seen a record number of people. While many are here for the festivities, others are here to promote their businesses. For these tribes, this festival helps them to teach their children the importance of culture. For the Omaha News, I am Mariama Samati.
Representatives from a variety of tribes were there. This was the 10th year for the powwow. It takes place every spring.
More than 60 million Americans own at least one pet, which means that this is the first time that the number of pets in our homes outnumber the cars in our driveways. Those pet owners spent about $500 million on dog biscuits, treats, and beverages in 2003. But Kirsten Voigt warns us that you should be more wary of what you give to your dog.
Man's best friend, a companion to all that cross their path, and a part of the American family.
This is Nala. She's 8 weeks old. She's a yellow lab. She's a new addition to our family.
Our furry friends expect us to take care of them and keep them out of harm's way. Some treats, however, have shown that they can cause tragic implications.
Greenies had a problem 3 or 4 years ago with animals actually being able to break off big pieces of the greenie, and then they would swallow it and it would go into their intestines, and it wasn't very easily digestible.
Pet owners need to monitor their pets closely when treats are given. If your canine doesn't like to munch and nibble on treats, but rather breaks them into large pieces, certain treats may be a bad idea. Greenies has since changed their formula to be more digestible and break apart rather than shatter.
And I think that they've worked really hard to try to get that formula, if not perfected, at least better for animals so that they don't run into that same problem.
Actually, a lot of our friends with dogs just love them. They're good for their teeth and they help freshen their breath.
Some other friendly alternatives that still help with the doggy breath are hard treats like milk bones that crumble. Of course, not all dogs like these because the greenies are so tasty.
There's something else you can do. It sounds crazy, but you can brush your dog's teeth as well.
Be a friend to your canine and make sure that those delicious treats are just that, treats. For the Omaha News, I'm Kirsten Voigt. Good girl, Nala.
Greenies also makes a treat called Greenie Flakes. With these, there are no large pieces and your dog can still enjoy fresh breath. Coming up, Omaha musician Matt Cox joins us in the studio to tell us about his latest work and give us a sample.
And we'll find out what drives a local disc jockey to join an industry of big names and big voices. This is the Omaha News on the Knowledge Network.
Take a look at UNO and you'll find a school that can pretty much be everything to everyone. We have that big city feel and a sense of community that creates a close, friendly campus. Our professors and resources contribute to our great reputation in the city and the region. So whether you're just starting out, transferring, earning a degree online, or choosing a new path in life, you'll be able to find what you want.
if your days get out of control. Reset your attitude by setting your radio to KVNO, Classical 90.7. Discover your own personal oasis of serenity on KVNO, Classical 90.7.
Welcome back. We've got Matt Cox in the studio. He played at South by Southwest last March and will play here in a moment. But first, a few questions. Thank you for joining us today, Matt.
Thanks, Lindsay.
It's nice to have you here. Very, very good. Tell me about how you got your start in your career.
I started back when I was about 7 or 8 years old on piano, moving on to drums, which led to guitar shortly after that, and picked up a few other things along the way. I've been playing pretty much my whole life, though, it feels like. Recorded an album back in 2002 on drums down in Arizona with a band down there, and ever since then been gigging and pretty much taking everything on myself.
Okay. And tell me where you pull some of your, what are your influences for your music?
Well, I don't know, I like to say everything from the Ramones to Robert Johnson. You know, I've listened to a lot of things over the years, and growing up around the house, there was a lot of Neil Young and the Beatles, and Joni Mitchell, Judy Collins, Simon and Garfunkel, a lot of old 70s folk movement and stuff like that going on, and it's become kind of a big part of my sound too, I think, and yeah, that's probably about it.
Well, tell me about your sound. How would you describe your music?
Well, I get the blues thing a lot from most people, and I have been influenced by a lot of Delta blues in the last couple of years, but I think it's probably a cross between country and that old folk sound, like I was saying. It's kind of an Americana, just a blend of roots music and more modern contemporary folk artists.
Okay. So tell me about the CDs that you have out currently.
Well, I released one back in 2006 that was recorded live up at Mix here in Omaha, and just printed 200 copies of that and sold out of those fairly quickly, and then last fall put out Folker's Travels, which was my first studio release. And right now working on a new one that should be out sometime in June or July. I've got 15 songs recorded for that right now, which I'm pretty excited about. So lots of mixing and fun stuff like that in the studio to do still. But
okay. Well, other than working on the new CD, what else do you have that's going on right now? What else are you doing?
Well, lots of shows. We've got a gig tonight at the Ozone, which is at Anthony's Steakhouse on 72nd and I-80. Encourage people to go check that venue out. It's a really nice place. Cheap wings tonight if you're into beer and wings, and a gig next Thursday at Barley Street Tavern here in Omaha too, up in Benson.
Okay.
But pretty much the music right now is mostly it.
Well, tell me about the song that you're going to play for us.
Well, it's called "Coming Around the Bend." It's a track from my newest recordings, and it's kind of a cross between a train song and a love song. So
okay, play
on.
on.
Like this. 2, 3, 4.
From the Rockies up above the trees to Mississippi Midwest breeze, she comes around early in the spring, blows away with the autumn leaves, with the autumn leaves. Hey there, old friend, it's sure been a while. Well, can you help me on down the track? For I've been a-traveling now many miles, and never thought that I'd make it back. Oh, never thought I'd make make it bad. Hear that engine coming round the bend. Sounding so good, baby, like this old cottonwood gin. But these old train whistle blues keep taking me home again. And I ain't seen my baby, oh, since I don't know where. Hit it one time now. Hell. If there's a kingdom up above the sea, there's an angel waiting on me. I've held my heart so long I can't breathe. Oh, tell me, is she long and free? Oh, tell me, is she long and free? Hear that engine coming round the bend. Sounding so good, baby, like this old cottonwood gin. But these old train whistle blues keep taking me home again. And I ain't seen my baby, oh, since I don't know where. Since I don't know where. Hit it one more time. Yeah.
Matt Cox, well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Thank you for joining us today.
Good to be here.
Where can somebody find your music if they're looking for it in town?
Well, they can come to my show, of course. Anytime. You can look me up at myspace.com/Crooked Road Blues or at mattcoxmusic.net. That has a calendar of all my shows coming up, or you can go to Antiquarium Records here in town and pick it up too.
Okay, sounds fabulous. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, my pleasure.
All right, stay tuned. You're watching the Omaha News.
UNO Television.
Students work with professionals who have all kinds of experience in the industry.
Lights, camera, action. Literally.
Get paid while you learn more about the TV business.
Work on all kinds of productions.
My friends who worked on TV Crew last semester are now working part-time at local stations.
Working on TV Crew is a great experience.
UNO Television. Student crew, professional staff, award-winning results.
Breathtaking, electrifying, inspiring. Award-winning documentaries produced by UNO Television offer you a window on the history of Omaha and the world. Beginning with the acclaimed 2-hour documentary on the history of Omaha, If These Walls Could Speak, UNO Television has developed a reputation for producing high-quality programs that explore, educate, and enlighten. These outstanding productions can be part of your home video collection. For information about purchasing VHS or DVD copies, call 554-2516 or visit our website at unotv.unomaha.edu.
Hello, Maverick fans. I'm Tori Pantalian, and I'm here to remind you that only one program brings you all the news about all the sports here at UNO. It's called Maverick Sports, produced by UNO Television and broadcast right here on the Knowledge Network. Join us each month as we recap the action of all your favorite Maverick teams and visit with the men and women who work so hard to make the Maverick program so good. Don't miss the next Maverick Sports right here on TKN.
Casey Kasem, Howard Stern, Don Imus, or even the Nightbird, also known as Allison Steele, recognize these names? They're all famous radio disc jockeys. Locally, you might know of Montez. This may look like your typical office building, but in fact, it's home to Journal Broadcast Group and its 5 radio stations, including KQCH, Channel 94.1, and afternoon radio DJ Montez.
Hello, Channel 94.1, who's this?
For local radio DJ Montez of Channel 94.1, getting into the radio industry wasn't easy.
I got my big break when a buddy of mine heard that a morning show in town was looking for somebody to answer the phone. And they were looking for people to come and audition. And I got the job that way, did that job for free for about 2 or 3 months. Hello, Channel 94.1.
Since then, Montez has been with Journal Broadcast Group for the past 8 years, entertaining young and old alike with his humor and wit. His inspiration for becoming a radio DJ was sparked by making a request at the age of 8 to a local radio station. After hearing it several minutes later, he realized he wanted to be the one behind the mic. He thought inside what a great job that would be to be able to play music for people that wanted to hear their songs. In addition to playing what people want to hear, he also likes the people themselves.
What I really enjoy about being on the air is talking to the people. I love talking to people on the phones, and I like meeting them out on the streets when we do broadcasts.
Tonight with Big Party and Jeff DeGan.
Montez is still entertaining listeners on Channel 94.1. You can catch him from 10 to 3, Monday through Friday.
Next week, there is no Omaha news, but join us in the fall as the new semester begins and the Omaha news returns.
We're planning to bring you the news of Omaha, just as we've done for the past 5 years, and also keep you up to date on the political campaigns leading up to the election November 4th. Then, on election night, we'll be live with the presidential results, as well as coverage of Nebraska's Senate race and 3 congressional races.
This is your city, your news. For all of us, thanks for watching the Omaha News.